A very good afternoon to you, everyone. And I'm delighted to see young children over here. That really makes me proud and makes me happy. It's an honor to be with all of you here, ladies and gentlemen. An honor for me. I would like to begin with a quote that has guided me throughout my life. What you think is possible becomes possible the moment you try. But the question is, do we even dare to try? Think about it. From my childhood vision, as a young girl, I would be standing on the terrace of my house, watching the aircraft soar past by, leaving those silver streaks behind them, which I would look as wondrous trains and say, I wish I could follow that. I didn't know the destination. I didn't know where they were flying, but I knew one thing, that my dreams wanted to follow that sky. But at that time, and I again speak to the young audience sitting over there was a script for girls. Look down, don't look up, stay in your boundaries, draw the line, do not expect too much. Aviation is not for women. And mind you, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. Aviation is not for women. Forget aviation cargo. Nobody has even heard about it. Vandana, why don't you try something simpler? Why don't you do B.Ed and why don't you go and teach? Nothing against it. Very proud to have the erstwhile teachers here. You're the ones who lead the country, but this is what I was told, whereas my dream was that sky. Therefore, I learned something powerful in life. The world's limitations are often reflections of its own fear. And then I made a promise to myself. When life gives you a ceiling, turn it into your sky. Entering the aviation world, when I stepped into the aviation cargo industry, trust me, I was the only woman in the room, the only lady who had a perspective that did not match any pattern. I was the one who had many ideas but was told to stand outside the conference rooms. And that time I was just 20 plus something. I was asked to wait outside. And I was often heard, I could hear saying, what is this lady doing over here? What did it do to me? It sometimes made me think, what did I do? Do I even belong here? Do I even belong to this industry? What have I done? But then I discovered a deeper truth. Courage doesn't always roar. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it whispers. Show up again tomorrow. So I did. Day after day, month after month, year after year. And today, it is 28 years, almost 3 decades of that. You would ask, what is aviation cargo? The invisible engine of the world. And I'm going to show you how. When we talk of aviation, of course, we will imagine pilots. I'm in the industry now. I'm in the government now. We imagine passengers. We imagine airports. We imagine crew. We also know what's going on right now since last 5 days in our country, right? But aviation has another heartbeat also, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and that heartbeat is cargo. Cargo is the silent force that keeps the world alive. Now imagine all of you have seen the COVID pandemic, haven't you? Forget the boundaries, forget the borders being closed. You could not even come out of your own house. Most of you were, all of you were online with your classes and all of that. You will not forget that pandemic ever, because for 2 years, we were all locked in. What did aviation cargo do? What did cargo aircrafts do? What did our freighters do? We flew the life-saving medicines. We flew the PPT masks. What else did we do? All your Covishields, Covaxins, all of them going in and out, including life-saving drugs, were taken up and down, point A to point B, brought into the country by all our cargo equipment. We continued to fly. What did we do? We were flying not from point A to point B. We were flying hope. We were flying a reason for somebody else to live. That's what happened in this pandemic, and that is how it made me realize that carrying hope and giving life and giving hope that you will live is a very, very big thing. And that experience taught me not all impact is visible. Not all leadership stands in the front. True change often happens quietly, driven by purpose, perseverance, and a heart. India's turning point, I want to briefly highlight that today India is not merely taking part in global trade. We are redefining it. We are shaping it. We are connecting continents, building bridges of commerce, innovation, and collaboration. And this progress, my friends, is not an accident. Growth is built on vision. Growth is built on courage. And growth is built on consistency. Some of you here are dreamers. Some of you here are change makers. And some of you here are quietly fighting a battle, a journey, a battle that no one else is able to see. But after these 28 years that I have spent in my journey in aviation, here is what I know for certain. You do not need permission to dream, my friends. You need permission to begin. You need permission to begin, and that permission must come from inside of you. So what are the 3 life lessons that I bring forward to you? Vision. Vision is not what your eyes can see. Vision is what your soul refuses to let go. Courage. Courage is not about being fearless. Courage is marching on with fear next to you. And what better can I tell you right now that my own daughter, she's a lieutenant in the Indian Army. She's just got commissioned this year, and she's at the border right now, just when Operation Sindoor started. And she is marching with fear along with her. So that is the courage that I'm talking about. Consistency. When I talk of consistency, we are not talking of fireworks. It comes quietly, and it has to be shaped by discipline. The turning point in my journey, early in my life, one of the projects that I truly believed in failed. It failed miserably. And that's another talk that I can give you on what that project was. But today, that very project, years later, has become essential to the industry, and that is why I stand here before you. I realized sometimes you're not failing, sometimes you're not falling, sometimes you're simply ahead of your time. So if your dream feels too bold, too early, or too misunderstood, I would say protect it, nurture it, stand with it. When my daughter said, "Mama, why cannot I be Judge Advocate General in the Indian Army?" First thought is, you take only 2 girls out of a population of 150,000 crore. And I told her, why not? So please stand by it. Please stand by your dreams. As Eddie Rickenberger said, and I quote, "Aviation is proof that given the will, we will have the capacity to achieve the impossible." Isn't that true? I think that's very, very true. So if you feel small today, that's okay. Every skyscraper begins with a foundation which is deep underground. Every river begins with a single drop. Do not forget. Every movement begins with one courageous voice. Your voice matters. Your journey matters. Your courage matters. Look up just the way I did as a young girl, because the sky you see is not the limit. It is an invitation. And when everything seems to be going off against you, remember that when an airplane takes off, it takes off against the wind, never with the wind. I stand here today as someone who did not have all the answers, but as someone who refused to stop trying. So if there is one message I want you to take home, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is here. Do not wait for the world to tell you who you are. Show the world who you choose to become. Spread your wings. Trust your courage. Redefine what is possible, because sky, my friends, is just the beginning. Thank you so much.